everybody, hey, Will Roberts here, and today we're going to talk about something called self-taping. It's a way for auditioning for something, and you're not even in the room. It's the newest, hottest thing, and we're going to give you tips on how to do it. So come on back, because I'm going somewhere right now. All right, I'm back. Got a chair. Everybody have a seat. Okay, so today we're going to talk about something called self-taping. And self-taping is basically you being able to do the audition where you're at, in your home. See, this is my home. It may look like a high-priced studio, but it's not. It's actually my playroom for my kids. It's the Lego room. See? So today we're going to talk about how to be able to set up your camera, most likely your camera phone or your DSLR, and be able to shoot something that potentially will send it to, well, directors or producers or casting directors. So that way you can go after a role that you would love to do and they can see it without you showing up there. You don't have to worry about getting nervous. Number two, you get the best possible product in the end. And number three, well, it's fun to have your own studio at your home. So one of the misconceptions about self-taping is the fact that you think that you have to have really expensive equipment. Lots of equipment, really expensive, a large space. Well, none of this is true. Let's talk about the equipment. Number one, you should have, well, a camera. Now, in some cases, you can use a DSLR or you can use your phone. I've got my phone here. I use them all the time. It's right here. And all I have to do is press it and shoot. But there are a couple of tips I want to give you on how to do that. Don't shoot like this. Shoot like this. Never ever send a tape to someone as an audition when it's like this. So always make sure your camera is that way. It's called landscape. The other way, portrait, which is fine if you're taking pictures. Now, there's a ton of apps you can get on your phones, whether it's an Android or it happens to be an iPhone. I have a whole bin that I have about different ones that you can use. iMovie works great on, of course, the iPhone, and on Android, I don't have a clue. You can shoot it this way so you can see it as a monitor. Let me show you. You can shoot it this way, and you would be able to see what's happening here. The problem with that on doing self-tapes is that you can't see if you're in frame. So I recommend that you try to do this, which is like that. So that basically allows you to see what you're looking at. So it would be your camera set up and looking this way. So I can actually see myself. You know, kind of like doing a selfie, all right? You place it in a tripod. Let's look at that. So here's a tripod. Now this is a small one and it does come, you know, with legs that extend. And I did put a clamp on here that allows you to be able to put your phone inside this clamp. I recommend there's one that's really, really good that I'll show you. This is it. And it's really, really easy to do. You basically put the camera in there, but you want to make sure that you have one that's in there securely so you don't accidentally go, whoa, and it falls out and you break your really expensive phone. So you put your phone inside a tripod, which you can get anywhere. You can get tripods anywhere. You can get them on YouTube. Well, not YouTube. That's where you put the video. Take two. You can get them on Amazon or eBay. Lots of different places you can get them. But you want to have a setup kind of like this. So you can set this on something. However, I will give you one more tip. The next tip is make sure that whatever you put this on is sturdy. Make sure it doesn't jiggle or do anything, because the worst thing is to see a video and a self-tape when it's kind of jiggly because you put it on something that wasn't stable. In addition, make sure that when you're shooting the video and you have it on, that it's literally at your eye line, all right? Don't put it like this so you have to look down, and don't put it like this so you have to look up. You have to make sure it's all very natural. You want to make sure that you actually deliver your lines when you're doing a self-tape. Here's the camera right here. I'm looking at the camera and I know that the lens is here. But if I was to look at the lens straight in like this and say my lines, hey, I think you should come on Sundays, okay? Because that's when the dogs are here, all right? Oh, yeah? Well, back at you. See, the problem is that if you deliver your line straight into the camera, it kind of looks phony. It doesn't look like you're really speaking to a person. So here's your tip. Your tip is to actually focus a little bit off to the left of the lens. Now, there's a full camera here, but your lens is over here. So what you're going to do is you're going to focus off this way, just a teeny bit off to the left. Now, mind you, if you look too far and pretend your scene is over here, it looks funny too because you can't see the expressions on your face. I've seen some pretty interesting self-tapes, and a lot of them kind of look like this. Hey, yeah, you know what's going on? And I think you guys should come over here and let's play some football, okay? Well, unfortunately, no casting director or director can really look in your eyes and see that you're acting, or at least you're being, if you don't actually look at them straight in the face. So the tip is to look a little bit off camera. Now, if you want to set something like an X or something that you can look at, that's going to help you, because if you're looking at it and you're doing this, yeah, I know. I mean, come on, man. Come on over. I think you're going to be fine if you just get in your car and come over. The problem is that they don't know where you're looking. Consequently, it doesn't really help. It kind of throws off the scene that you're doing. So make sure that you focus on something that you determine is the line of sight. Now, if it's a commercial audition, you want to make sure that you're looking straight inside the lens, just like this. Because when you look inside the lens on a commercial, it's because you're trying to sell something to someone. Hey, I love this new set of glasses. I can't find them, but if I had a pair of glasses, I'd want you to buy these because they're really, really good. You can see through them, they clean easy, and I want you to buy them now. Take a look at this screen and order now. You see, that's a commercial. So you want to be able to pose that straight into the lens because you're speaking to the audience like I'm doing to you now. All right, next topic, your microphone, sound. There's nothing worse than watching a self-tape or anything and hearing really bad sound. I mean, if I go way back here and I speak to you and I go, hey, yeah, check it out, it's really cool, and here's my scene, chances are that, number one, the people watching you for the audition will lose interest. In addition, the quality will sound so bad that they'll just go, well, they're an amateur. So you got to make sure that when you present this to them, you have the highest quality. The highest quality means the sound is really good. This is probably about $70 or $80. It'll come in useful, I promise you, from here on in. Side note, there are many different types of microphones. And in some cases, if you're in a small room, you can use just the microphone on the phone because nowadays they're pretty good. But I would say if you can up your game and get something that sounds a little bit better, you probably should. The next item, and probably one of the most important things as well, the backdrop. See, this backdrop, if you take a look at it, is just blue. Now, this enables me to do something called green screening, or in this case, blue screening, which enables me to knock it out like this and put in whatever I want, like this. Okay, let's go back. But the other reason why it's important, absolutely important to have a good backdrop is because you don't want cluttered. You don't want to do something where you're doing it, here we go, let's swing around. I've got my kids' toy area. And I probably don't want to do something here, bad lighting, with all this stuff in the background going, all right, well, I'd like to tell you, you guys got to come over by 5. I'm doing a scene. And you can't see me. And in the background, you have all this funky stuff, and they're drawing their attention to that. You don't want that. What you want is you want a clean backdrop. So when you get a clean backdrop, you're able to have yourself look really good and professional. Well, that's it. Boy, oh boy, you're on the way to fame and fortune. It's not easy, but get all these elements in place. And remember, don't turn the camera this way. Make sure you have good lights. Make sure you have good sound. Make sure you have a good backdrop. And make sure you have a good performance. All right, see you next time. Bye-bye.